Hello everyone, I am going to continue with the bacterial morphology and bacterial cell structure. In the last part I have completed with the bacterial cell size, shape as well as morphology. Under cell structure I have discussed about the bacterial cell membrane, cytoplasm and its content as well as the bacterial cell wall. In this presentation I am going to discuss about bacterial capsule, flagellum, pili as well as the bacterial spore. Let's start with the topic. In the beginning I am going to discuss with the bacterial capsule. So what is bacterial capsule? Bacterial capsule means some bacteria which produces some jelly and viscous type of the layer surrounding the cell wall, that is called bacterial capsule. So bacterial capsule will be in a different form when it gives the proper shape, or it will be in the organized form around the cell wall, then it is called it as the bacterial capsule. Capsule producing bacteria are like Streptomyces, Klebsiella as well as Bacillus and Haemophilus and Cryptococcus. These are the some example which produces the capsule. And slime layer. Slime layer means when capsule is in the disorganized form. That means it won't give a proper shape, then it is called it as the slime layer. So slime layer produced by the leuconostoc. And microcapsule, when capsule cannot be seen under the light microscope, that means very smaller, then it is called it as the microcapsule. So for example, capsule produced by the meningococci and gonococci, it is very invisible to detect under the light microscope. And some bacteria will have both slime layer as well as the capsule. Example for this is the Streptococcus salivarius. It has both slime layer as well as the capsule. Let's see the component of the capsule. Capsule will be rich with the water as well as the less content of the solid. And it is has antigenic characteristics and made up of the polysaccharide, except in the bacillus it will be in the polypeptide in nature. So these are the component of the capsule. So let's see the function of the bacterial capsule. It enhances the virulence by inhibiting the phagocytosis. It also protects against the antibacterial substance, and it has an antigenic property, and it can be used for the typing of the bacteria. How can we demonstrate the capsule? One, by the negative staining like Inde ink or nigrosin stain. Like this dye you can use it to detect the bacterial capsule. When the bacteria, that means the capsulated bacteria, is dipped in this kind of dye like Inde ink or nigrosin, that bacteria and the background will take the color, but bacteria capsule will be colorless, hence it is called it as the negative staining. You can see the picture here. Bacteria will be colored and surrounding clear area you can see that is the bacterial capsule. So in the down picture you can make out this is the Cryptococcus. So budding yeast cells surrounding that colorless surrounding you can make out, that is called it as bacteria, that is that yeast capsule. So that means capsule never takes any dye, hence it is called it as the negative. So another technique can be gone for this is the serological method or quelling reaction or capsular swelling. In this, bacterial capsule has an antigenic property. So when the capsulated bacteria is mixed with the anticapsular antibody, and then it is mixed with the methylene blue and seen under the microscope, swelling of the capsule can be seen under the microscope. And special capsule staining technique can be used like His staining technique. Now come to the flagellum. Flagellum is an organ of locomotion. Its length is about 5 to 10 micron in length. Let's see the composition and parts of the flagellum. So flagella has three parts. One is the basal body. This is the basal body what you are seeing. Then it is the hook, and finally it is the filament. So basal body has the two rings. One is the outer ring and inner ring. You can make out here. This is the outer ring and this is the inner ring. Outer ring attached to the cell wall and inner ring attached to the cell membrane. Again, this outer ring has two subunits, that is L ring and P ring. L ring is attached to the lipopolysaccharide and P ring attached to the peptidoglycan layer. And inner ring, as I told you, it already attached to the cell membrane. It again has a subtype S ring and M ring. S ring located in the periplasmic space between outer membrane as well as the peptidoglycan layer, and M ring it is attached to the plasma membrane. And then next part is the hook. So this part what you are seeing is the hook. It connects the basal body to the filament. So lastly, filament, it is mainly made up of a protein called it as the flagellin. It is like it is throwing out externally like a helical form, but in this spirillum it will be like a insidely inverted, so it will be like a endoflagellum, but in other bacteria it will be thrown outside, so it will be like a extra flagellum. So inside it will be like endoflagellum only in the case of the spirilla case. So we cannot make out the flagellum outside in that bacteria. So arrangement of the flagellum, there are the different arrangement of the flagellum can be seen. So it can be classified into different types. One is the atrichous flagella, that means bacteria without flagellum, that is called it as the atrichous flagella, that are the bacteria will be non-motile. It cannot be moved, it will be like a non-motile. That movement it is called it as the Brownian movement. And polar flagella. Polar flagella means there will be single flagella at one end or tuft of flagella at another end. There are two types of polar flagella. One is monotrichous, that means single flagella at one end. You can make out in this picture. This example for this is the vibrio. Another picture you can see here, it is a tuft of flagella which will be at one end, it is called it as the lopotrichous. Example for this is the spirilla. Usually it is inverted inside. Another one is the amphitrichous or amphilotrichous flagella. So spelling here it is little wrong, it is amphilopotrichous flagella. So amphilotrichous or amphilopototrichous means here single flagellum at both the ends or tuft of flagella at both the ends. So if it is a single flagellum at both the ends, then it is called it as the amphitrichous. If tuft of flagella at both the side, then it is called it as amphilotrichous flagellum. Example for this is the Campylobacter, Pseudomonas phaeocine. These are the some example for this kind of the flagellated bacteria. Lastly, peritrichous flagella. Peritrichous flagella is, that is all around the bacterial cell. Flagella present all around the cell, that is called it as the peritrichous flagella. Example is E. coli. So here how to make the note that which bacteria have the single flagella at one will be most faster than other bacteria in the motility. So flagella is very uncommon in cocci, but very rarely some cocci may have the flagellum. Example is the Rhodococcus. How to demonstrate the flagellum? First one, by the dark ground microscope can be used for that, or special staining technique like silver impregnation method, or by the electron microscopy. Indirect method can be used by the spreading type of the growth on the solid media, like swarming of the bacteria can make out, and then motility under the microscope by using hanging drop preparation, or by the spreading of the bacteria in the semi-solid media like by using mannitol motility media. These are the different kind of technique can be used to demonstrate flagella. Fimbriae. Fimbriae means organ of attachment. As like flagella, it is not like present in some bacteria or may not be present in some other bacteria. It's not like a flagella. Flagella may or may not be present, but Fimbriae will be present in all the bacteria. It is an organ of attachment. Its length is about 0.1 to 1 micrometer in length. Each bacterium possesses 100 to 500 Fimbriae peritrichously, means all around the cell. It has protein called it as the phyllene. There are two types of phyllae. One is common phyllae, another one is the sex or fertility phyllae. Common phyllae will use for the attachment, sex phyllae or fertility phyllae for the transmission of the genetic material, especially plasmid. So which bacteria have that sex phyllae, it is called it as the male phyllae, and it will transfer that genetic material to the another bacteria, that is called female phyllae, female bacteria which doesn't have the phyllae. So by the conjugation, so it will carry the plasmid by producing the conjugation to the one bacteria to the another, and it carries that genetic material. What are the functions of the phyla? I told you already, addition and transport of the genetic material by the sex phyla. By conjugation, there are two more methods also applicable, like transmission and transduction also applicable to carry that genetic material like plasmid. How can we detect the fimbriae? One by the electron microscopy, another by the hemagglutination. So hemagglutination means fimbriae usually have the same characteristics in all the almost all the bacteria. That is what it cannot be detected by the antigenic test. So that is the reason antigenic reaction must be avoided of fimbriae. But fimbriae has ability to attach to the or agglutinate the red blood cells. So this reaction, it is called it as the hemagglutination, can be applied for the detection of the bacterial fimbriae. Lastly, bacterial spores. So what is bacterial spores? Not all bacteria, but some bacteria has ability to produce highly resistant form. It is called highly resistant form. It will be present in the absence of food and water. In the condition of the desiccation also it will survive. That is called it as the bacterial spore form. Example for spore producing bacteria like Bacillus and Clostridium. So when bacteria will produce the spores? Mainly when there is a scarcity of the food and water, it will gradually convert it into the spore form and survive for the long time, even about centuries also. So single spore which will formed by the bacteria, which will germinate and produce the vegetative cell by the method of the sporulation. Hence it is not called a reproduction. It is not a method of the reproduction. Spores are formed inside the parent cell, hence it is called it as the endospores. So how you can kill the spores? So as I told you, spore is highly resistant. It is not easy to kill, but you can kill this by moist heat at about 100 to 120 degrees Celsius for a period of 10 minutes by autoclaving at 121 degrees Celsius with the pressure of 15 lb per inch square. So common spore producing bacteria are Bacillus and Clostridium species. So let's talk about the sporulation. Exact method of the sporulation doesn't know. So it is initiated by the at one end of the bacterial cell with the appearance of the clear area, and it gradually becomes the opaque and clear, and then to form a structure called it as the pore spore. A center core has a homogeneous, you can see this picture how the bacterial spore will appear. The center part of this spore will have protoplast, which have all genetic material and other enzymes, whatever cytoplasmic content will be there present in this protoplast. It is called it as the core. So this core, it is surrounded by the spore wall. This spore wall will have the future peptidoglycan layer. This spore will be surrounded by the outer cortex or the spore cortex. This spore cortex will have the dipolonic acid as well as the dipolonic acid, as well as it also consists of the calcium, and then it will helpful for the future. And this is about the spore cortex. And then this spore cortex outside surrounded by the spore coat. This spore coat is mainly responsible for the resistance of the bacterial spores, and it is impermeable for the all the content. Outside the spore coat we can make out the there is a wrinkled layer you can make out here. So this is the wrinkled layer. This is called it as the exosporium. This is the structure of bacterial spores. So this is the formation of the bacterial spore picture. So this is the vegetative cell. At one end I told you it will become clear and forms this genetic material. All the content will be devoid, and it will start to produce the wall around that material, and then it produces the four spores, and this vegetative cell will disrupt finally, and then will be present only the bacterial spore. When the environment will be good, then this spore will gradually converted into the vegetative form by the sporulation method. It is not a form of the reproduction. So arrangement of the spores, we can see there are the non-bulging spore and bulging spores. We can see here it is the oval central spore and spherical central and oval subterminal. It is not in the terminal or nor in the center. It is called it as the subterminal. These are the non-bulging spores. Bulging spores means it will be like a outside swelled form. It will give to the bacterial cell structure, that is the oval subterminal, oval terminal and spherical terminal. These are the bulging form. So bacterial without a vegetative cell only in the spore form, that is called it as the free spore. So this is about the bacterial cell structure I have completed. If you have any query or any doubt or any thing to be discussed, can be put it in the comment. Hope you like my presentation. Thank you.